if you want to. All right. All right, you guys, thanks so much for joining us tonight. This is our what we call Gut Health 15. This is a time that we take every Monday night on our team, and we take basically 15 minutes or a little bit longer, whatever it takes, and we hear somebody's plexus story, what I like to call our pleximony. And we all have one, and they're all different, and I think we can learn from one another's stories. So tonight, I want to just tell you, I am here drinking my Restore. I'm a proud Restore user, and I was editing my video that I'm going to be posting on whenever I get it edited here about Restore, and I've just learned so much more about it. And you guys, if you have not dug into these products, into the nitty-gritty, I really challenge you to do that. Whether it's, if you're using my resources or other resources out there, just do it, because I think belief in our products is such a big deal too. If you don't understand what you're, doing or taking for your body, it's harder for you to buy into that. And especially for me, coming from a scientific background, I just love to know the nitty gritty, and I'm sold out on the Plexus products if you don't already know that. But I digress. I want to introduce Kristal, my friend, Kristal Grinde, and my neighbor who lives right over there. And I see her basically every day as she's hauling her kids to and from school and trying not to hit my crazy dogs when I'm out walking in the morning. But it's been a treat to get to know her. And we just got acquainted. I mean, honestly, I've lived out here 14, 15 years now, and we just got tighter probably in the last 3 or 4 years, which is kind of stupid considering, I mean, it's a rural neighborhood for sure. But it's just been such a treat, and not knowing what Kristal was struggling with. And then once I knew what she was struggling with, I'm like, girl, I can help. I can help you. I know we can help you. And I know it's had its turmoil, right? Because
yes,
it takes time and consistency. And I think in America, especially, we are just instant gratification. I can tell you it's going to take time, Kristal. You got to be in it for, the long haul. And what do we think? Well, long haul, I don't know. What does that mean? 3 to 4 days, 3 to 4 weeks, 3 to 4 months, 3 to 4 years. It's different for everybody. But Kristal, we've had some of these come to Jesus moments. Like, you got to stick with it, or you just, all in, or just cut bait. Because, if you can't be all in with the belief and understanding that it's going to work, you just have to hang in there. And she hung in there. And let me tell you what, you guys, you are in for a treat, because her story is quite incredible. So Kristal, I'm going to just turn it over to you and give us your testimony.
well, I think my 15-minute meeting could be a 50-plus-minute meeting. Kelly, lovely neighbor, but we're out a little bit out of town. We like our little elbow room. We wave and smile and are friendly, but we're not really up in each other's business. Until I was introduced to Kelly by another neighbor for her Plexus products. Another neighbor had been using them. And of course, we talk about everything. And she shared, and I thought, well, I'm sure it's like it works and all the other, things you can sell and make money, and oh, it's so good for you. But Nancy encouraged me. She's like, it's Kelly. She's a pharmacist. She's not going to let you take naughty things or bad things for you. We actually determined I was taking a ton of bad things for me. Gut wise, I didn't feel terrible. I mean, very irregular stuff, but nothing terrible, just so sluggish. I could not get enough sleep. My thyroid completely failed. I had inflammation galore, rosacea, cysts. I mean, you name it. I don't think I didn't have it. I had bloody nipple drainage at one point that they could not determine other than inflammation. Lots of musculoskeletal pain, lots of fibromyalgia pain. I'm 41 years old. So when we started this journey, I was like, I don't think I was 40 yet.
Mm-mm.
Um, And I thought, well, what the heck? But I'm a mom of three girls. I work. I have a husband. I have an animal. I have a busy life. I don't take time for me. I don't spend money on me. That was the hardest thing for me to get over. At one point, I was taking 5 milligrams of Xanax a day for anxiety. I could not get control of it. Mental health professionals, nobody knew what to do. I kind of did everything pharmaceutical. Um, I mean, we did hospitalizations, we did therapy, and honestly, until I got my gut cleaned out and figured out that all this chemical garbage I'm putting in my body, and even some of the things that I really do need, because I do still take a couple of prescriptions. Um, I totally lost my train of thought there. Um, I just had to get everything cleaned out so that the good could work, because I had no idea that, the big pushes for serotonin and sunlight and vitamin D and these things, Zoloft's and things of that nature. But what is it? Something like 80% of serotonin is absorbed through our gut. Is that correct?
Produced in our gut. Yes, you are correct.
Yes, something crazy like that, and I didn't believe any of it. I'm a registered nurse, Western medicine all the way. This is not covered by insurance. I don't want it. I can't afford it. All the things, and I struggled and I struggled. And because of my lovely Plexus neighborhood community, they kept me going. And when I went on vacation and said, I can't do this, I I contacted them and they got me through it. Um, Weight, fatigue, inflammation, absolutely crazy. Um, I could sleep, I would sleep 20 hours a day if you would let me. So I am a completely different person. It took a solid 2 years. Um, but my high weight in like 2021, and I'm only like 5'4.5", guys. So I was 238 pounds, and I weighed myself this morning at 196. I haven't started with a one in many, many, many years.
Yay. I'm so
I
proud.
haven't I haven't genuinely smiled in many, many, many years. I mean, all the things.
Yeah. I remember when you were telling me, even the anxiety you would have to go on a trip. You're like, I just can't go. I can't go. And you've been gone basically every weekend this summer,
I know.
which makes
I
me so happy.
I promised with every ounce of my being I would never get in an airplane, because that was certainly how I was going to die. It is unnatural to go that fast, that high. I'm not doing it. But then I'm scared to be in the car too. And it got to the be where I was like scared to leave my own home. Um, and the vital biome, I think, has been huge. I didn't believe in a million years it would work. I didn't believe in a million years the balance would work. I mean, I took phentermine in the past. I've done, weight loss prescriptions and things of that nature, and I'll never do it again.
Yeah. Do you remember when you texted me and you said, Kelly, I'm starting to lose weight. I think I have cancer.
Yep. Severe,
Like, you're like, do you think
severe
it's the
health
plexus? I'm
anxiety.
like, I can guarantee it's the plexus. You don't have cancer. Take a step back, take a deep breath. I told you this would happen. But
Yep.
again, for you, it took time. I mean, we had a lot
Long time.
of garbage to clean out. And that's, I think, again, when I say that, your time frame may not be the time frame that's realistic for how long it's going to take you to heal. And I see Kelly Carlstead is on the call, and you remember getting on a call with both of us,
Yes, she
and
was
Kelly
gardening, I
challenged
think.
you. She's like,
Yep.
you
Yep.
you draw the line. Either you stay in it or get out. You either stay in it, and you decided Okay, I'm gonna stay in it. Yeah.
Yep, and I believe the first time we kind of met at
Yes.
your house, Kelly, I had, full makeup.
Yeah.
I'm wearing powder. I have no eye makeup on at all. I have terrible rosacea.
Not anymore.
It's
Not
there
anymore.
a little, but I mean, I look completely different. I feel completely different. I have days, don't get me wrong. Um, but honestly, I think it's been
Yeah.
close to life-saving for me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I would agree. And even looking at your photos, when I look at, and you're one to say inflammation was a big deal.
Yeah.
Huge. Right? Even when the scale was not moving, you looked like you were shedding pounds. And it was just all that inflammation from everything going on in your body. And I know too, with the anxiety piece, when you had even told me the prescriptions you were on and the doses, I kind of had to just swallow and be sure your math was right because it was a lot for somebody of your stature. And it was no wonder you were a zombie and
Yeah.
sleeping, right? And I can remember even going over to your house with something one time, and there was basically like a sign on the door, if it's between the hours of this and this, don't knock on my door because I'm
I
sleeping.
think that was Harper
It was hard for the one that put the thing on. I'm like,
for the
"Good Lord,
neighbor girl.
she's not kidding. She is like laid out in her house for 20 hours." But
Yeah.
yeah, I know you're not that person anymore. And it just brings me such joy because, somebody that needs to hear your story, because I can't relate to your story, right? That's not where my struggles were. Don't get me wrong, I had my struggles, but that's not where they were. So, yeah, for you to get on here, and I know we've been trying to get the date right for a long time because yeah, people need to hear what has happened because you're a young woman, right? And struggling with these things that were basically shutting down your life, where,
Oh,
right?
totally.
Yeah, where you weren't showing up for your three girls who need you
Yep.
to show up,
Yep.
and for Sean, your husband, who needs you to
Yep.
show up, and
Yep.
for us neighbors that want to see you, right?
Yep. Yep. Other than in the car.
Other than in the car.
I notice how much more active I am a person. If I start a diet or exercise for a half an hour, if I don't drop 5 pounds that minute or
Yeah.
that next day, I'm like, it's not working, people.
Kind of
This
like
isn't where
that
it's
meme
at.
where like, I had a salad today. Why didn't the scale move, right? No. Oh God.
Um, so my testimony, I mean, I had, yes, many health things, but I didn't have high blood pressure. I didn't have high cholesterol. I didn't have high blood sugar. Um, but mentally and physically, I was in an ugly, ugly place.
Yeah, hot mess. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's not just for weight. It's not just for diabetics. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing stuff. I still don't believe it.
Believe it.
And then I look in the mirror and I'm like, who's that? But yes, 39 years old, I got on an airplane for the first time without
Without
any
having a meltdown.
medication.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
big deal. Oh, that is so cool. I'm looking at the chat here. Lots of love this. Congratulations. Incredible testimony, which is no surprise. There are a lot of hearts here. Does anybody have any questions on Kristal's regimen or anything else that you want to ask her about? Will we still have her? And you can go ahead and unmute yourself. That is totally fine.
Hi, Kristal. It's Kelly. I
Hi.
I want to just say congratulations, my dear. It really chokes me up and brings tears to my eyes because I know where you were at.
It
I
was
know where
bad.
you're at. And you didn't give up. You
Mhm.
stuck to it, my dear. And we often suggest to people, please just stick with it 60 to 90 days. That wasn't long enough for you, 60 to
No.
90 days. That wasn't long enough now. Look at you. Just look
Yeah.
at you. You look beautiful. I
Thank
feel
you.
a certain confidence in your voice that I didn't hear before. I'm so proud of you. And I'm proud of Kelly for sharing with you and sticking with you. Kelly's a wonderful guide, and she knows when to give some tough love when one needs it.
She
And you
does.
trusted
Yeah.
her. and you accepted that, and look at you now. The sky's the limit now for you, my dear. Just keep on keeping on, and thank you for sharing your story. So many people, if you're just one person, that there's many others out there that are struggling with similar things. And so I thank you for sharing your story so much. Oh my gosh, it's precious.
Mhm.
Well, thank you, all of you. I can't see you because I'm technologically very, very not great. But you can see me and hear me, so that's good.
Oh,
Um,
Kristal. See, there's
but
a question in here about your
I thank
regimen.
you
Can you
all.
share what your regimen is?
My regimen, every morning I wake up and I do drink an active. I take 2 E's. Um, what else do? I do my 2 Vital Biome right away. I take my couple of prescriptions in the morning. Like I do have complete like thyroid failure, so I do need a thyroid medication. Um, and a couple of things. Other than that, I do the hunger control, the slim hunger control. I love the tea one, and I love the star fruit guava and in the active. Kelly tells me I have childlike taste buds. If it's icky, I won't eat it. I'm sorry, or drink it. Um,
That's that
I
tough love, Kristal. That's that tough love.
know. And then I do 2 balance in the morning. And then I do my probio and a very sporadic cleanse.
Mhm.
Is
Yeah,
that it?
I think it is. Yeah, the E's. Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, but again, you've been consistent. It's just that one time where you decided to tweak with your doses that kind of gave you a little bit of a setback. But other than sometimes I think for all of us, that's a good learning curve because it gives us that validation like, well, shoot, I guess it was working after all because now I feel like crap again, right? I think we've
Yep.
all done that with a product or two over the years. Yeah, we're slow learners. But yeah, I know that you're back on track now and feeling much better.
And I always say, I'm not a crunchy person. I'm not, very fully natural. I have a couple of girlfriends who everything is essential oils and all that. And I think those things are wonderful and I think they have their place. But I think they have more of a place than what you and I maybe were taught in school, Kelly, and obviously I'm not, I don't have the education you have, but
Well, and I
coming
don't have
from
the
a nursing
education you
background.
have. That's the whole thing I think for somebody in the medical, like you say, we're trained Western medicine. I think it is harder for us for the buy-in. Because I even remember the first event I went to, I didn't even know what plexus was. I could have cared less what it was. Kelly called me and she's like, I'm going to be in Grand Forks. And I'm like, well, dang girl, I haven't seen you in, I don't know how many years. I didn't care what plexus was. I just wanted to see her. Right. But then when I got there and realized what it was, my eyes were rolling to the point where, I was
Yeah.
straining my eyeballs because that's just who I am. I'm so skeptical. And boy, was I set in my place, because the curiosity, just hearing people's testimonies was enough to raise my curiosity. And I'm sure you sitting around this exact dining room table I'm sitting at with all of us
Yeah.
was enough to raise your curiosity, right? And sometimes that's what it takes to challenge what we know. And it's not that what we know is not valid, because it is, but it doesn't work for everybody. It's like missing that piece. It's missing that piece. And I think for both you and I, and probably everybody on this call, plexus is that missing piece, what we were missing. Yeah. So
Yep.
I'm so proud of you. Well, we went over just a
Thank
few
you.
minutes, you guys. So if
Sorry.
anybody else has any more questions, we will take them. Otherwise, we're probably going to wrap it up and I will have the recording and post it. So if anybody wants access to this to share with friends and family, because honestly, it's people's stories that change lives, right? It's people's stories that you can relate to and getting that encouragement and that educational piece. So again, thank you guys for being here tonight and supporting Kristal in her health journey, because we all know that it just gets better, right? The longer we take the products, the better things get. So thanks again for being here, and we will hop off. I will have the recording available, and have a great rest of your night. Thanks again, Kristal, for being here.
Thank you for everything.
Absolutely. All right.
Okay.
Good night, ladies.
Good night.